How are GED raw scores converted to scaled scores? Have you ever wondered how your raw scores on the General Educational Development Test translate into the scores that determine if you pass? Let's break down this process in a simple way. When you take a GED test, your raw score is simply the total number of points you earn based on the questions you answer correctly. However, not all questions are created equal. Some questions may have different point values, especially if they requiring multiple answers or allow for partial credit. This is particularly true for the short answer questions in the science test or the essay in the reasoning through language arts test. Now, your raw score alone only tells you how many points you earned on that specific test form. Since GED tests can vary slightly in difficulty and question sets, raw scores need to be converted into scaled scores. A scaled score is a standardized score that ranges from 100 to 200 for each subject test. This conversion allows your performance to be compared fairly across different versions of the test and different test dates. The conversion process takes into account the difficulty level of the questions you received. For instance, if a test form is harder, a lower raw score might convert to the same scaled score as a higher raw score on an easier test form. This ensures that everyone is judged fairly. Each GED subject has a specific number of raw points possible. For the reasoning through language arts test, you can earn 65 raw points, which includes an essay that is worth about 20% of your score. The mathematical reasoning test has 49 raw points available. The science test allows for 40 raw points, with some questions permitting partial credit. Lastly, the social studies test has 30 raw points. To pass a GED subject, you generally need a scaled score of at least 145. This usually corresponds to earning about 60 to 65% of the raw points. For example, on the mathematical reasoning test, getting around 32 out of 49 raw points typically converts to a scaled score of 145, which is the minimum passing score. While the exact formula that the GED testing service uses to convert raw scores to scaled scores is not publicly detailed, the scaled score reflects your performance relative to passing standards. This allows for fair comparisons across different test versions. When preparing for the GED, aim to answer enough questions correctly to reach that 60 to 65% raw score threshold. Knowing this will likely translate into a passing scaled score of 145 or higher. Understanding this scoring system can help you set realistic goals and track your progress during your study and practice tests.